Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Perdónanos nuestras ofensas, como también nosotros perdonamos a nuestros deudores. Y no nos dejes caer en la tentación, mas líbranos de todo mal. I find it interesting that Christ's words that he spoke in this simple Lord's Prayer, or as it's more commonly known throughout Latin America as el Padre nuestro, that he puts an emphasis on four simple things out of everything that he could have mentioned. Four simple things. For God's will to be done, to have our daily bread that we need to survive, forgive us when we make a mistake, and to protect us from evil. While all four of those could be applicable at any point for us, perhaps that during our daily busyness, maybe there's one or two at any given time that are more applicable in your life, depending on what's going on, what you're traversing at that time. In the rural and isolated villages of Honduras and Haiti, where Mission Lazarus serves, I can guarantee you that there's one thing that will be top of mind when they say that prayer every day, and that is asking the Lord to give them their daily bread. They're not worried about tomorrow's bread or next week's bread, next month's bread, much less the bread they're going to need to retire on. Just bread today, nourishment today, that God will provide that for them. I also find it interesting that in the last meal that Jesus shared with his disciples, that before he passed around the bread, he said to his buddies, we call them disciples, they were his buddies, they were his friends. He said, "This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And went on to say, "For whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup," whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. Christ recognized the importance in his day of bread and wine for everyone's daily life, what they would live on for their nourishment. How amazing is it that some 2,000 years later, bread is still such an important part of our daily life. It's what brings us together. Oftentimes, 3 times a day when we eat, we will find bread with our meal. He wants us to remember his body every time we come together. Maybe our bread is a biscuit, or maybe it's a baguette, maybe a piece of toast, maybe it's a gluten-free option, or maybe like for our brothers and sisters in Honduras, it's a tortilla. But it is nonetheless bread. Today, we're not going to sit around a big table and eat a big meal together, but as believers, hopefully doing life together, we're going to be together on a certain level and symbolically share bread and wine today. Not because I believe that this is what Christ referred to, that this isn't. This symbolizes us doing life together, having a meal together, and remembering the body and the blood of Christ that was poured out for us.